Good morning from Maverick Physical Therapy, guys. The fall season is sure upon us. The nice, cool, crisp mornings here in San Diego. Far different from where I grew up back in the Midwest on the farms in Michigan. I want to dedicate these series that we're going to go through, the pick and the press matrix, to all of our farmers out there, the true hunters and gatherers, the true industriously eager, persistent, courageous, just mentally and physically strong creatures. Those are the people that really know how to use their skills to survive via movement, via the strength of a strong will. Today we're going to be going through, as you can see, this beautiful fall harvest around me here, sent from my parents back on the farms. We're not here just to, definitely not to celebrate Halloween again, to celebrate the hunters and gatherers in our lives, but with Thanksgiving soon approaching as well, it's a great time for us to kind of get back to the foundation and the basics of movement. And what I'm going to show you today will definitely help us go back kind of retro style in that direction with the pick and the press. What I like to do, I like to get a couple objects. You don't even need objects, you can use body weight. I like a couple squishy med balls. I like to get a couple little dumbbells, maybe a couple little kettlebells. And the single leg toe touchdown that we've played with in the past, front leg forward, a little bit of weight on that tippy toe from the side. It'll look like this right here. Front leg forward, a little weight on that tippy toe. What I like to do with these guys, the pick and the press, I like to drive in sync, I like to drive out of sync. Well, when I'm driving in sync, I like to facilitate all that internal, that medial rotation that takes place by getting that calcaneus to evert, which we need in that TZ1 of gait, and 3D pronation for our level changes. I like to get that internal rotation of the femur and of the pelvis. I'll take the butt out in the transverse plane a little bit, but then we'll also, with that same leg forward, we're also going to pick and press in a wide dimension out of sync. Out of sync and in sync again, our reference points are the pelvis, the pelvic girdle, and the shoulder girdle / the T-spine. So when I'm loading out of sync, I have pelvis rotating left, shoulder girdle, trunk rotating to the right. When I'm loading in sync, I've got pelvic girdle, shoulder girdle rotating in sync with each other. Not the boy band, but in sync. So what we're going to do first, we're going to bring on out the old trusty little foam wedge right here. We'll get to our famous little BAPS board in a second. But kind of really dig on this foam wedge kind of setup, this dorsiflexed type setup, which we've talked about before. Really getting after that ankle joint and that mid-tarsal joint. Super duper important that we're able to get that rear foot to unlock from the midfoot, that we're able to get that relative inversion or eversion and that dorsiflexion of that mid-tarsal joint when that table curl joint dorsiflexes, when the subtalar joint everts upon our initial kind of loading. And we've talked about before in previous episodes how that butt, it's like the Planet Earth videos in which a baby bird falls from the nest, the mama bird comes down and swoops up the rest of the body. Well, we're trying to really engage that butt, that posterior, that lateral pelvic girdle, and that transverse plane, so that rotational plane, as well as that frontal, that side-to-side plane. And it really teaches the body, it really prepares it with a lot of feedback from that stretch, compression, and tension to really catch the body, to work in sync with the foot and the ankle. Picking the press first, we're going to go right arm next to our side, left arm shoulder high. We're going to rotate and load in sync, and we're going to press. We're going to pick, we're going to harvest the fruit, and we're going to press it up to the wagon. Harvest the fruit by picking, press it up to the wagon. We'll do just a little reach right out in front of the knee to start us off with. I like to then drive out of sync, kind of with the left arm as we kind of come on up. And now let's go 45 degrees. And we'll pick and press. So we're really winding up, again, that foot and that ankle, really driving that medial rotation with a top-down driver of the right upper extremity, rotating and reaching to the left. And now let's go 90 degrees and greater. So 90 degrees, pick and press. 90 degrees, pick and press. I'll give you a little side shot. So a little side shot, same kind of format and system. Right foot up, you're gonna drop, and you're gonna press. Just a little bit of weight on that left foot. Primarily kind of that tippy toe leg position. Let's now take that right foot with the right foot up. We're gonna go right arm, shoulder high. Left arm is next to your side. He's gonna be the picker. He's picking the other row. So we're gonna be driving out of sync now. So let's just go about knee high, knee to ankle high. Let's go straight anterior first. Let's go 45 degrees to the right. So a little right anterior lateral with the reach. It's important that the knee out of sync, depending on what we're working on. Right now we want to drive it forward. We don't want that hip and that knee to bail on out. We want to load the butt. So drive your knee forward as you load out of sync with the contralateral opposite arm driver. Rotate and press in sync. Let's go 90 degrees and greater now. 90 and greater. 90 and greater. Load out of sync. Really feeling that butt. Guys, that posterior, that lateral, this kind of pelvic girdle just really getting turned on from that big collapse. Be creative again with what you're using. Play around with stuff in the yard, use your kids. Make it fun. A couple little pumpkins here. All right, guys, we're gonna harvest. Let's do a little pick and a little press action. Little pick, little press. Little pick, little press. I love the pick and the press. Not only everything we do multifaceted, not just for what happens at the foot and the ankle, the hip, that lumbar-pelvic hip complex, but I love what's going on at the thoracic spine. I love what's going on that scapulothoracic joint in the shoulder. Let's do a little playback. So when we're loading with our out of sync rotation, we get in the T-spine or type 2 out of sync kind of motion. We have rotation and we have side bend in the same direction. We have pelvis rotating left, thoracic spine rotating to the right. From the top down with our drivers, top down, everything's rotating faster and further to the right, giving us kind of some gapping, some good opening, which then right here with the right arm kind of pulling at the same time, we're really loading that scap into some great external rotation to go along with the rotation of that thoracic spine. We get in there and, you know, those facets, 45 to 60 degree kind of frontal plane angles right there, really designed for side bending our rotation. So here to here. So this is a big scap, a big T-spine activity to really get us a good load. You can add a little progressive kind of oscillation to it at the bottom, 45 to 90 degrees. Same thing on this side with the pick and the press, rotating in sync. So from the top down, we're getting some rotation to the left. Depending on the placement of the left arm, we're actually getting a little side bend to the right, which will give us a little type 1 in sync. Shoulder girdle, pelvic girdle, rotating to the same side, but then opposite side bend. The rotation and side bend are opposite for our type 1 movement. Pick and press, pick and press. We can kind of get funky with the arm position as well. Go ahead and play with these guys. We're going to kind of bump things up.